That's my boss, by the way. I don't know if you know or not, but I am one of her 3 favorite employees. Don't know who the other 2 are. Wow. Can I just say, first of all, look at this room. Oh my God, Robert Feeder is here. Bruce Dumont is here. Catherine Johns, Karen Hand, and Jane and Steve and John Guerin. And I mean, it's overwhelming. And Nick Gale. I see him too. So many of you people over the years have been my coworkers, but so many of these people here have been my heroes as well. I mean, that's why so many of us get into this business, is because we love the business, but we love the people as well. And this is a little off of my what I was going to say, but I'm just overwhelmed. And every time somebody comes up the stairs, it's like, oh my God, wow, they're here. How did, so it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you to all so much for coming out. It's just absolutely amazing. So my bosses say I cannot recant the entire history of WLS. That would take us sometime into next week or maybe next month. But I did have a few things I wanted to say. We're here to celebrate, as we say on the air, a century of service. We end every newscast with that. Our great Jeff Davis, who is not here tonight, he is at home in Hollywood toiling away for the special that is going to be on this weekend, which I will say you do not want to miss if you've never heard it. But, it's a century of service. It's a century of entertainment. It's a century of information. And it's a century of memories, too. I mean, for so many of us. Look at all this stuff. And I hate to say that most of it came from my house. 100 years, a long time, especially when you think about a media outlet that was considered state-of-the-art in 1924, an AM radio station. Yet somehow, this station has been able to survive over all these years, throughout 100 years, despite the onslaught of competition. Take a listen to this. Live theater, 45 RPM records, long play records, FM radio, television, satellite radio, file sharing, streaming music services, cable, cell phones, and of course, the internet as well. And as our morning show producer, Tom Hush, said the other day, we were talking, he said, isn't it amazing that the era of all this technology that we have, the advances that we have, somehow an analog AM radio station is still important to the community. And he was so correct. I mean, we hear it all the time. We've heard it so much just even within the last 100 days, as Stephanie, you mentioned, with the pictures on social media that we have up on our monitors now. And Steph and I will track some of these behind the scenes. Geez, every time Don Wade and Roma is up, it goes through the roof. It is crazy. So, I mean, we are important to so many people. And the reason I think it is because of content. It's not because of how the signal reaches you, whether it's over the air or through the internet or through your phone or whatever. It's because of the content. And content has always been king at this radio station from the very first night, which, let's see, what time is it now? Almost 6 o'clock. So imagine 100 years ago at this point, Sherman House Hotel in the Loop, they were getting ready to go. And they got things started at 6 p.m., courtesy of Sears Roebuck, all the way through this morning show with Steve Cochran. It has gone the entire 100 years because listeners crave the entertainment. They crave the information, and they want memorable content. They want something they can hang on to, and that's what this radio station has provided. Think about it, National Barn Dance. 36 years it was on the air on this radio station and made national stars out of so many people. Gene Autry, Pat Buttram, Lulu Bell and Scotty, the list goes on and on. The people that hit the 8th Street Theater became national stars. And less than a year after the station debuted, here's a couple of things you may not know. A massive tornado hit southern Illinois and Indiana. So this was in 1925. The staff helped raise $20,000 in relief money in 1925. We raised $87,000 to help residents in Mississippi after a flood that ruined homes in 1928. And then the Depression hits. And we provided food and clothing during the Great Depression. And these acts were not out of the ordinary for the staff, but extraordinary for everybody else. We helped others, and we continue to do so. And think about it. When Dick Biondi sang the pizza song, or John Records Landecker just answered phone call after phone call on the boogie check, Uncle Larry and Little Tommy, reading stories about drooling horses, everybody talked about him. That was what was important to people's lives. And when we lost Elvis and John Lennon, Princess Diana, when the underground flood happened downtown, and when 9/11 happened, we were the ones that broke the news. Because, as you know, local news is important. And a local radio critic, not Robert Feeder, by the way, said that at one point, WLS, the news department, puts most FMs and some AMs to shame. And this is during the music radio era. Unbelievable. By the way, there's no truth that we covered the Great Chicago Fire. I don't think. I'll look into that. But anyway, and it's always been on the cutting edge. Think about it. We aired an entire show from the World's Fair in 1933. We covered the Hindenburg accident with Herbert Morrison. Unbelievable coverage. Put the Wild Australian on the air when the rest of the radio station sounded pretty, normal. And then 9 o'clock at night, we got Dick Biondi on the air, and turned a country radio DJ and his co-host into the longest running morning show in Chicago history. Think about that. Even employing politicians, Mel Reynolds, Rod Blagojevich. And then there's Mancow, but I don't have time for that. So personally, let me end this here because I've already gone way too long. To me, it is an indescribable honor to be here with these wonderful people and a part of this radio station that really has meant so much to me throughout my entire life. It is so true. Growing up with the legendary names that have come through this radio station that have been here over the past 100 years is absolutely unbelievable. And I also want to thank my current staff who have been so warm and welcoming me back here to the radio station because they are absolutely extraordinary. Thank you so much, and thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. And now, the man we call the captain around here, and I've been very fortunate to work with him before, and he's fantastic, whether he wants to.
What's his name?
His name is Steve Cochran, ladies and gentlemen.